Okay, moving over to the wideout position, you've got a guy here that might be in a revenge game narrative, and then a young pass catcher in Houston.
Yeah, boy, Houston's wide receivers have been really good in fantasy. As a group, they have scored the 4th most points, which is just unbelievable thinking how we came into the season and our projections for that group. But I like Nico Collins. Now, last week he had a stinker, and it was Tank Dell, and I think you can start Tank Dell this week as well. But I still like Nico Collins, even though the numbers were not great last week. And you look at the matchup against the Steelers, they've allowed the 6th most points to perimeter receivers, including 33 catches. So Nico Collins is a good flex. And I also like Adam Thielen. You mentioned the revenge game narrative. He's playing his old team, the Minnesota Vikings. And oh, by the way, he has scored 51.9 fantasy points in his last 2 games combined. That's crazy. The Vikings defense also giving up the 5th most fantasy points to slot receivers this year. And Thielen's running about 70% of his routes inside.
Yeah, Thielen went absolutely off last week, and to be quite Dalton, at least for right now. So I kind of hope Andy Dalton starts if I have Adam Thielen. All right, as far as wide receiver sits, who you got?
Nuke Hopkins is found a spot in my sit-em list, unfortunately, for the last couple of weeks. Didn't love the matchup this week. Don't love the matchup going forward here. And it seems like he's fallen into the Julio Jones and Andre Johnson and Randy Moss category. Let's hope that doesn't continue, of veteran wide receivers who go to Tennessee and their stats go into the toilet. But I don't love the matchup against Cincinnati. They've given up the 4th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers over their last 18 games. And I don't love Zay Flowers this week. And this may be an unpopular opinion because he's had a pretty good floor, but the Browns defense is really good. I mean, they've held perimeter receivers to the 2nd fewest fantasy points after 3 weeks. That includes Jamar Chase and Nuke Hopkins not scoring much of anything against Cleveland. So beware Zay Flowers this week. He's a flex at best.